morning, ladies and gentlemen, this is Napoleon Total, back with some Shogun 2 Folder of the Samurai Scramble for the 4 East mod, and we are back with our Prussian campaign, episode 20 to be exact. As of right now, we've just, in the last turn, we've taken Isil. Now, we have to deal with this massive British army, 2 British armies, as a matter of fact, one on this island, and one right on the beaches of the island. And we are gonna, see if we have any luck. And yeah, I'm gonna order the retreat because there is no way in heck this one British army is gonna, yeah. I'm not gonna fight it on the open battlefield because I have 3 armies and I want to bring all 3 armies to bear against this one army. So that's why I'm not attacking as of right now. What else? I'm just looking at my army stacks. They're all fresh. They haven't taken it. They don't have a man loss. So is the enemy. They have been doing a pretty good job, but in the north, our war against the Northern Alliance has gone pretty well. In my definition of pretty well is the fact that literally we've taken some land, and everything else looks pretty good. Like literally, there's nothing much I can say because, well, we've just been taking land and invading the north. So there's only technically 3 provinces left. One is Iwate, the other are just these homeland provinces of the Northern Alliance, which is not scary. Their army is quite terrible. And yes, there is this Dutch army in the field. The Netherlands have sent an army, but I do not know what it's trying to do, and that does make me afraid of stuff. The British have some Black Watch, some Coldstream Guards, some Colonial Foot Infantry, very terrifying army because this is the elite of the British army. Extremely elite army, no joke. Yeah, so I'm also trying to repair a lot of stuff because the British Navy watch, the rebels who were at Setsu in their last turn were like, yeah, let's burn down whatever we can get our hands on, and yeah, they did a pretty good job of that. Congratulations to them. However, it's not a very good job for me. Yeah, I'm just gonna upgrade my military advisor. I'm just gonna try to give him replenishment. Yeah, so yeah. Supervising replenishment is more than important because replenishment is the key of the game. This other British army in the field right here is also pretty elite, but it has been going through winter, and I'm just gonna auto resolve because there is no way in heck I'm gonna lose this battle. Yeah, they drop, their numbers are dropping extremely quickly. As a matter of fact, we only lost 200 while they lost 2,000. I had literally 3 or 4 more times the numbers they have, and then I still won. That's no surprise. But yeah, 1 British army destroyed off the battlefield, so that's interesting. I do not think the enemy is gonna be doing anything. Technically, this army I can auto-resolve right now, but I'm just a little bit, I just need replenishment, and I'm just waiting for more troops to get on board, and then we cross the straits. Yamashiro is being held by the Yoda, which we will eventually declare war, but as of right now we are not. Stuff, everything is going on. And yes, everything looks on the surface, it looks very good for me, but the number of revolts and people unhappy is a lot, so I'm not gonna even discuss about that. I'm gonna send 1 army off to take the deal with my enemies in everywhere. Almost this entire peninsula is at war with me. And the Northern Alliance wants us to declare war on the Matsu, and in turn they will declare war on the Northern Alliance, in which I reject. First of all, is that I do not want them to I do not want to join their war, and second of all, I do not want them to join my war. Stuff has been happening. Everyone is pretty unhappy. It says revolts, but I can't find any revolts, so that's interesting. That's probably a glitch right there, but actually no, not a glitch, but there's probably something wrong there, but I'm not gonna mind about that. I have to train my army and replenishment, so yes. Don't know what to really do. Yeah, I guess I don't have much of a choice. Once again, I'll always go for replenishment, and I'm just gonna send this army to deal off with another enemy, I guess. There's too many enemies I have all around me. It'll be very terrible if the Netherlands joined the war against me, and yeah, it's not gonna look pretty. My empire is pretty big, but it's also pretty, not a lot of cities, is how I put it in a nice way. I'm trying to also build up the railroads because the only way I'm able to transport troops is going through rail. And yeah, I do have this cavalry army of, guys, and they're just gonna be doing, they're just gonna be scanning, but for some reason, the Iwate do not have a massive army in the field, so that's interesting. And as you can just see on my right, there's just so many nobleman revolts that it is getting somewhat insane. But then for some reason, there is not a single revolt. The only revolt was last turn, in which people were unhappy, and I just destroyed that said revolt, and that was it, literally. And we have the, yeah, Awaji. There's nothing really much to do, so I decide to end the turn. You see some troops moving left and right, over there, over here. And finally my units decide to join, and yep, the British decide to attack me. I do not know what I was thinking. Literally, they do not have the numbers. My army is completely massive. 7,000 men against their 2,000, I guess, I think. I think I have more than 7,000 in this battle. This is my reinforcing army. This is actually one of my reinforcing armies, to be exact. This army is probably, I think if I'm not correct, is led by, Gunter, I think. But this entire army is made up of a lot of guys, a lot of troops, left and right, so I'm just gonna march them onto a hill, and I'm gonna see what the British do, because the British have an even massive hill. And technically, they're supposed to attack me, so yeah. This army is mostly made up of lifeguards, all types of infantry, Brunswick, Hessian, Württemberg, almost every infantry you can find on the battlefield that I have in my roster is deployed in this battle. Colonial line, everything is being deployed for this battle. Yeah, just look at the number of flags and you can tell how many troops there are. It's pretty insane. Literally I have, this is literally 3 or 4 armies. Well, actually no, this is 3 armies grouped together. And the British have an army of elites, but I have technically some of my units are extremely elite, and so are the British, but I just have more elites, I guess. So I have more numbers. My artillery is just being moved up, and yeah, they're gonna take some time. But yes, it's pretty interesting. On this hill we have, we already set up our artillery. I thought that the British were gonna assault me, or assault this small army. This is my, this is the army that was caught in the open. And, I thought the British were gonna assault this army as soon as possible. But to my surprise, they didn't do anything. They technically are hiding in the forest, and, technically I have to go get them, but, as we can later see, it doesn't work out like that, so yeah. I'm gonna remove my troops back because I'm gonna hide them in my own forest, which is right here. I'm just gonna beat the drums and play the pipes and play the flutes to be exact. And we're just gonna march them up on this hill. I'm just gonna stop talking and I'm gonna let you listen to the cadence, which is basically the march that they're playing, and I'm gonna stop talking. Finally, I decide to move them off the hill, and we're just gonna post this army on the extreme left flank. And the reason is because my entire army is moving up on this hill as I talk, so yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna move them down. So yeah, that's interesting. 3-4 units. But on my right flank, I have this massive swarm of cavalry, just like a lot of them, with my generals leading them. This army is being led by Gunter, which is, you can see. The other army is being currently led by Rolf. Rolf, yeah. Gunther and Rolf leading the army. Behind him is this massive swarm of cavalry that I tend to use to cut down the enemy as they retreat, in which I am pretty sure of victory. You can see in my center, I've just massed up all my artillery, and I'm gonna move them up all at the end of this hill. We have some like I can't tell from here, but like some 15-20 guns, literally prepare to open fire on the enemy. 4 carriages, so yeah, like that's like some 20 guns, and we're just gonna open fire on the enemy. As you can see in the distance, the British army is still slowly marching towards me. And to make it worse, my infantry is all completely set up, except for some, of course, because my army is truly massive and I need to micromanage them. So yes, the British have been appearing out of this tree forest line, and they're just preparing to attack me. So yes, they're advancing while my guys open the cannons. Because the enemy is getting slightly closer, I decided to move my troops slightly up to protect my artillery pieces. The enemy does not have cavalry, but I'm not taking any chances with my artillery. Yes. This intense artillery barrage is pretty amazing. Although I'm pretty sure most of these artillery shots aren't doing that much damage. It looks good, but it's not doing that much damage. Just saying.
The enemy has hidden units, sir.
I might be wrong, and they're actually doing a lot of damage. So yeah, I could be 100% wrong. But yes, for those that play Napoleon Total War, this literally reminds me of the cannons in Napoleon Total War, so that's interesting. On the enemy side, this Black Watch unit is moving up, and as I speak, they're literally getting shot to pieces. They lost their regimental colors, and now they only have the King's colors, being the flag of England, the flag of the British Empire, of course. But they lost that too, and now they're marching. The only thing that they have left is this bagpipe, in which is it's currently being played. Actually, no, it's not currently being played. But I find out for the British Army that bagpipes are not used in the sense that how they are used. Like bagpipes are used, they play of course, but when there's a wounded person or a soldier that falls and need to be tended. The person who plays the bagpipes and other type of instrument in the British Army tends to drop the bagpipes and just literally help with the wounded. As you can see, I decided to move my units up, and we're literally exchanging fires at point-blank range. Literally, we can literally see each other. There's no point of aiming at this point. It's just open fire as quickly as possible. And literally, the entire enemy army is gonna attack my left flank. So yes, it's a pretty interesting sight. Yeah, this is pretty devastating for both sides. Me in the sense that, for me, it's the sense that the enemy is just charging straight at me, and then literally before they stop, they open fire. As you can see with this colonial line infantry, they man up and they open fire. For almost every shot that my enemy and I fire, it's pretty devastating. More colonial Highlanders moving up. On the left, we have some supplementary infantry. But this is still pretty close, and we're just getting a lot of kills. The enemy is getting a lot of kills too, but like at the same point, every second there's a person dropping, or like just more like 2 or 3 people dropping. But yes, it's pretty interesting. Well, obviously, it's not interesting if you're on this battlefield. It's pretty deadly, and it's even worse if you're with the British. In the back line, we see some Coldstream Guards with the actual regimental colors that you would see for the time period. Heck, this unit is literally in Buckingham Palace as I talk. So yes, I think the first one that you see, this unit right here is the Coldstream Guards. Behind it, I think, is the Grenadier Guards. And the way I will distinct them is the buttons on their tunics. And yeah, I think that's how you. Well, actually, no, that is one of the ways that you distinct them. If I'm going to Buckingham Palace right now, I would distinct them by something else. But yeah, that's problematic. Our guys are also firing canister shot, and we're just opening fire on the enemy. The enemy general decides to charge forward, and he's literally getting gunned down. Artillery is just pounding the entire center on my left flank, extreme left flank. I'm also deploying my cavalry and a lot of my entire lifeguards. So literally you can see here my lifeguards just preparing to open fire, and these guys are trained killers. These guys are definitely a match for the Coldstream, the Black Watch, and the Grenadier Guards, so they are not a joke. My guys have taken some casualties, but not as much as the British, I come to realize. These are our enemies are holding pretty dang well. They are the Grenadiers and the Coldstream Guards after all. Yes. Is there another way I can distinguish them? No, not really. They look so similar, I can't even distinguish them. But yes, yeah, the enemy also decides to clump up, which is the biggest thing I will not do. On my left flank, this battle is extremely intense. Both sides are just losing men within seconds, literally. This unit of, I don't know, I think it's Highlanders is charging straight at my lifeguards. They're moving to the side. I have no idea what they're doing, but they're just getting shot apart by these lifeguards of mine. So that's a pretty good trade-off. I thought they were gonna fire right there. And when they do fire, it's pretty devastating, not only because we're so close, but because these guys shoot very quickly. So one volley and the entire regiment goes down. Speaking of the devil, they literally have a lot more infantry just lined up right after that. Volunteers, and Highland troops, I guess. Colonial Highlanders. It's a pretty good sight. Yeah, they decide to, you know what, screw it, we're just gonna engage my lifeguards in melee. And my lifeguards have been fighting all this time against their Grenadiers, almost everything. And they've been doing a lot of kills, but they've also been losing a lot of guys. The enemy decides to, nope, we're gonna retreat, we had enough. And they're just gonna eventually be cut down by my cavalry, so yes, that's interesting. Just to give you guys how bloody this battle is, this is one of the places in which the death count is pretty low. And literally this is, well, actually no, this is on my right flank. The center, the British decide to attack that eventually, but they just get shot back. The center is even more bloodier, but as of right now, my cavalry is over there cleaning stuff up, so we can't really see the dead bodies. But on my left flank, it's pretty bloody. You just see men falling left, right, center, everywhere, especially with the colors and standards of the army. Yeah. Anyway, we've lost a pretty high amount. They lost their entire army. We've lost a sixth of their my own army. It's a pretty bloody battle. To make it worse, it was a pretty bloody battle. Being so close, it was devastating for both sides. I just had more numbers to throw at my enemy, so that's why I technically won. But yeah. Anyway, we're already on the end turn. So in the next turn, we have a lot of spies being detected, mounting arrests, stuff, and we're gonna research artillery. Yeah, there's a ninja from this Northern Alliance, I believe, and yes, no, sorry, not the Northern Alliance, it's a spoof. But yeah, there's nothing really much I can do. I'm just gonna send this army across to take Kawana, the province, of course. And just because we just won this extremely good victory, I'm just gonna have my entire army just attack the enemy. And I've gotten a new general, Unrik, I guess. We're gonna assault. It is winter, so we're gonna be taking winter attrition in enemy territory. But we're gonna press our entire 3-stack armies, well, 2 stacks and another 3-stack army, and we're just gonna auto-resolve the battle because this is a joke. Literally, I have more troops than they have, and they have, yeah, less troops. Although some of their units, the Welsh Fusiliers, the Black Watch, and the Sepoys are pretty dang elite, but there's just so little of them. It doesn't really matter at this point. The Northern Alliance and France have declared war, but it's not in my business as of right now, although thank you France for essentially helping me in a war that I do not wish to send a lot of troops to. Elsewhere in the north, I'm gonna send my cavalry to scout. I'm gonna have my lifeguards army, and once again, another good thing about lifeguards is the fact that they literally do not take winter attrition, so that's wonderful. We're gonna auto-resolve because I have no intention to fight it. We've lost 22, which is pretty low. I cannot do any better. Literally, arrow towers is such a problem that I decided to auto-resolve most battles, so yeah. We're still gonna move north to Amori province, and we're just gonna do our best. But elsewhere, I'm trying my desperately to end the British as soon as possible because, yeah, I don't like the British. Just saying. They declared war on me, and they've lost their war, and not to mention the fact that not only did they lose their war, they lost pretty badly. They're gonna get wiped. So I guess we can learn a lesson from the British, and that is literally do not declare war on some of the most powerful factions in the game, and declare war on all your immediate neighbors. That's gonna be a big no-no. They were, for most of the time, the reasons why they were getting defeated left, right, center, and everywhere is literally because, the problem for them is that, they declare war on too many people, and yeah, just saying. I find that in the game, the Netherlands and the British do not have good relationships. The Americans and the Prussians declare war almost immediately. The Northern Alliance and the French declare war, and Russia and the Qing. So that's no surprise right there. Korea is pretty safe, although eventually, obviously, Korea will declare war on the Qing Empire. So yeah, that's going to be a problem for the Qing. Korea. Okay, in the beginning of the game, Korea has a lot of troops. Like, sorry, a lot of provinces. 11, I believe, which is a lot. Yeah. But the only problem for them is that they can't modernize. So yeah, that's a problem. Also, they don't have any elite units, so that's even a bigger problem. But anyway, there's this Northern Alliance army that is within my borders, and I don't know what really to do. I'm gonna let them attack me, and I'm gonna destroy their army, hopefully. But yes, there's nothing much I can do because I can't move my armies back, and it's so little of an army, I don't really care what happens. My guys are replenishing as I speak. Sigmund and Christian are gonna move up. Obviously, I consider Sigmund to be the commander-in-chief of my northern army, although I can't really name that. I'm going to attack the port of Amori, and we're just going to see what happens to Amori. I kind of know where the entire northern army is, and that is probably in the north, because obviously, guys, how do I put this in a nice way? The French have declared war, and to a certain degree, I think the French are a bigger threat for the Northern Alliance than me, because France has a lot of good units. It's pretty scary how many good units they have, but it's pretty elite. I'm gonna have Gunther, Ralph, Utrecht, and yeah, gonna assault Awaji, and we're gonna take it out as soon as possible because I do not want to see the British. I do not want to see the British at all. I want to see them off the face of the planet. Obviously, guys, for everything I say in the gameplay, obviously I do not mean any offense to anyone. If you're British, I'm sorry, but it's guys, it's a game. Please calm down about it. Yeah, so yeah. Sorry if I insult you in any way, shape, or form. So yeah. Anyway, we're just trying to build up as quickly as possible. We've finally just are able to upgrade, well, no, repair the harbor after the revolts. So yes, anything else I can do? No, not really. Yeah, just the northern armies are a problem. I'm just trying to see what units I can get rid of because my economy is somewhat tanking, although is a lot better because I've taken most of the British provinces. So yeah, that's interesting. Amori is being sieged. Thankfully, Amori has what do you call it? A railroad station, which means I can literally build something at Amori and transport my troops front and back. So that's interesting. Everything else, the Northern Lights decide to attack me in Uzun. They put Uzun to siege, but I'm gonna prepare to sally out because I have no intention of just sitting there and have the enemy attack me. So yes. The castle is under siege, no surprise right there. Yagamata, I think. We're gonna prepare to assault. The enemy has 2 generals, 2 cavalry units, and 2 bows. I have this weak, terrible infantry called militia. I have this spear unit, which is I'm gonna pretty much use it against the enemy. What do you call it? The enemy cavalry. And I don't think we really need to use it because how do I put it in a nice way? The enemy general dies. So yes, the enemy army itself is actually besides the cavalry is made up of bowmen and samurai bowmen, so they're pretty devastating if they can get in range. And yes, they actually look pretty cool. Bows, yeah, stuff like that. Some history about the samurai. I found out that the samurai. Well, actually, no, I found out a long time ago. But samurai used to fight on horseback. They were like horseback archers. And by the time of around Sengoku Jidai and before, it was mostly like, okay, yeah, there's not a lot of horses, and we can't give everyone a horse and a bow. So yeah, we're just gonna give a lot of people katanas, stuff like that. Anyway, the enemy general decides to charge at me, and we're just gonna shoot him down. Like literally, this is literally point blank range. But the enemy's generals somehow still managed to charge straight in. Not that it really matters because literally my guys, most of them will be getting up and then fighting back. But that does allow a distraction. And eventually the enemy general just like leaves. But we're gonna return fire, and we're just gonna open fire on the enemy. Eventually you see my guys are moving up, and the reason why they're moving up is because these guys have less range than my colonial line infantry on the right. Therefore they have to get closer to open fire. Not that it really matters because the entire enemy army is destroyed. Eventually we win, we lose 128 while they've lost 203. We're gonna not chase them down. We're gonna try to chase them down, and I decide nope, we're not, because literally they have more troops. And I cannot guarantee my line infantry will 100% win. So yes, I'm gonna recruit some cavalry to deal with this revolts. Well, not a revolt. This minor guerrilla army, I guess. But yes, we're gonna move this army out, and we're just gonna move this army in. We're gonna move this army with this army, and we're gonna attack Mori. So yes, we're gonna try our best. Mori is being held by a lot of troops, and I cannot guarantee my cavalry will win against all of that, so I'm just gonna wait for my reinforcements to catch up. And yes, in the south, we're gonna march on Yamato province, and yeah, the enemy has a massive army there, but hey, who cares? I decide to attack the British. Once again, no surprise right there. We're just gonna attack Awachi, and yep. One army is definitely not enough because they've been recruiting some line infantry. We're gonna press all my armies together, and we're just gonna try to auto-resolve, in which we have a better chance to auto-resolve. So we're gonna auto-resolve. It's not gonna look pretty for me or for them, but I think it's gonna be looking less pretty for me. We've lose a few units, but we didn't lose most of our army, so I'm gonna take that, and yes. And the British finally has been defeated. Literally, the sun has set on the British Empire. And I think I should be ending the video around here, although I'm just gonna show you guys a lot more of what has been happening. So yes, elsewhere, the British Empire has ended, so peace and prosperity to the world, I guess. Although the British Empire has ended, they haven't really been destroyed, in the sense that a lot of people still like them in some provinces left here and there. But we're gonna end the turn, and we're gonna see what the heck happens. Yeah, not a lot happens until the French land an army right next to Mori. So that's interesting. That gives me a lot of ideas. But I'm gonna tell you guys about that later. Revolts. Yeah, these guys are not even revolting, so please don't tell me about revolts. Nothing bad is going to happen. Is going on. So yeah. That's that. We're gonna repair, and yeah. We're gonna send this army back to where they came from. I have a lot of these useless ships, so I'm gonna disband them, and I'm gonna have only this one good ship, and we're just gonna go around and terrorize our enemies. I'm gonna deploy all my artillery in this one massive army, and I'm just gonna have the rest of the armies just like march home off this island. And yes, nothing much I can do at this point. I'm just trying to win the game essentially. So yes, I'm gonna go and siege out Yamato, and from the looks of it, the enemy has a lot of troops. I'm gonna quick save just because I do want to save progress, and I'm gonna continue the siege because I am not dumb enough to assault a city with almost everyone. I'm just gonna let them sally out, and because the time is on my side, I've decided to just like wait for them until they sally out. And when they do sally out, I'm just gonna gun them down. Yes, we're gonna move everyone to Amori, and we're gonna prepare to siege it out. The French are here, so that's wonderful, just wonderful. I'm gonna continue the siege, and I'm gonna wait for the French to help me with the assault. Yeah, the French Navy is more impressive than my Navy. France is being led by... I can't even say his name. Duque, I think. Something like that. I could be 100% wrong. But, yeah, so that's that. Yeah, I really want to get a military alliance with the French, and the reason why is because it's pretty funny though, but the reason why is because I fear that France is not my biggest opponent. The Netherlands is, and yeah, rather have peace with the French than with the Dutch. Sorry, rather have a peace with the French than war with the Dutch. But France offers me a trade agreement. I really want them to give me a military alliance. I'm gonna give you military access, indefinite. They're like, nope. I have to pay them, which I am not interested in paying them. Yeah, so yes. Even if I give them a military alliance, that wouldn't work. So I decided to, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Sure. I just need money at this point. So yeah, sure. Take the money. The French give me 3,000 koku in the bank per turn because of trade, so that's wonderful. So yes, anyway, that is pretty much it for this episode, so have a great day everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Now before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I will be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.